From the kitchen of the cabin, it's the 5 games for Doomsday review. Azul. I've never put a lot of stock in style. To look at me, you'd be surprised. I exhibit what is known as vagabond chic, a varied collection of clothing put together to make me look as dishevelled as possible as an opposition to a vain and grasping capitalist system. It has nothing to do with congenital laziness. Still, even though I'm a sartorial Pollock, I've always been suspicious of style. Style seems too premeditated, too contrived. There's too much mind and not enough gut in style. An arch of the eyebrow rather than a soul laid bare. A painted face rather than a primal scream. I've always cared more about the content than how it's delivered. The toy is better than the box, the chocolate bar better than the wrapper. But as with most things I hold sacred, I squirm and wriggle out of these core beliefs when something comes along that contradicts them. I'm like a politician. I share their moral landscape, but lack the brains, Machiavellian self-belief, and verbal dexterity. Style is something to be wary of, though. It's a simple gambit. Make something look a certain way and you can be forgiven for its content being rancid. Gaming is rife with this kind of bait and switch, especially with Kickstarter ameliorating the risk. In this world, games have stopped being about games, but how much can be crammed inside a box? Which new innovation in gluing pieces of cardboard together can make this seem innovative and fresh, when in reality, the game was thrown together in a weekend so the avarice glands of a plastic-hungry consumership can be milked. This isn't the whole picture, though. Style is vital. Even the supposed absence of style is style, and games need to be delivered to us in a way that is not just raw cardboard and unsanded hunks of pine. And sometimes, style and substance can come together so beautifully that any suspicion is washed away in the glorification of form and function. Azul is one such endeavour. In Azul, players are attempting to build the finest mosaic. Tiles of different hues and patterns are juggled in a cloth bag, then pulled and placed on plates before the players. Then players take all of the tiles of one type, depositing the rest of the tiles into the centre of the table to be taken by other players later. The taken tiles are then placed in a staging area for later application to the mosaic. These staging areas hold varying amounts of tiles of one type, and at the end of the round a tile can be taken and placed onto the corresponding mosaic. Play continues until all the tiles have been taken, with taking being mandatory. If there is no available staging area for a player to place the tiles they've taken into, due to space or type restrictions, then these tiles are put into berths at the bottom of the board, each berth robbing the player of 1 point. Points are awarded by the adjacency of tiles, 1 tile awarding 1 point, 2, 2, and so on. Play continues until someone has constructed a horizontal line. Bonus points are awarded for completed columns, and the player with the most points wins. The first thing to say about Azul is that it's beautiful. There has been a mini Bakelite revolution in gaming, with games like this and Dragon Castle bringing a new tactility into the hobby, a recognition that something other than cold calculation is a part of the experience. There is no doubt that part of the success of this game is the pure tactile joy of building a pretty picture. But there is more than just the arid contrivance of style here. There is substance too, a substance that lights up the neurons and fires wave after wave of warming serotonin as you wage war with those around you in the limits of your own intelligence. Azul is delightfully mean. It offers ample opportunities to leave your opponents carrying the can and have huge amounts of negative points dumped on them, while all the time knowing that a slight lapse in judgment could have the same fate befalling you. This game fulfills both the urge to build and the urge to destroy. It rewards both the building of a beautiful mosaic and your opponent's inability to do so. It is both exquisite and razor sharp. It is the swan gliding down the river and the same swan breaking your arm with a swish of its wing for daring to try and nick its bread. Like all great abstract games, Azul is a wonderful combination of tactics and strategy, short-term measures contributing to a long-term aim while batting away the attacks of your opponents. Not only that, there is no gerrymandering required to make this into a genuine multiplayer experience. It plays as well with 2 as it does with 4, without any of the contortions that are usually required for multiplayer abstract games. There is no doubt that I prefer a moody drama to a glitzy musical. a pair of tracky bottoms to an Armani suit. But with Azul, you could indulge your love of the aesthetic and the profound, and have a cracking good time doing it. You can support this show by going to patreon.com/5G4D.